Hips can be a problem tight area. It's the largest joint in the body. I designed a very short flow you can do on a daily basis to open up those hips. Hi, my name is Jimmy Barkan. I've been teaching yoga since 1981. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Hit the bell, you get notified every time I post a new video just like this one. I designed the short flow you can do from beginning to advanced. We did a video a few weeks ago. It happened to be our most popular video on hip openers. So this is part 2. Let's go over to the studio and dive right in. So hands to your heart center. We start our class by setting an intention. You can make it a personal intention, but today we are opening our hips. So we're going to start with half moon salutation. Inhale, arms overhead, create some length. Swan dive forward, bend your knees as much as you need to soften into our first forward fold. Relax the shoulders, the face muscles, the jaw. Shift the weight forward into the front of the feet. Lengthen, look up, and fold back. Lengthen, look up. You can either walk back like Wendy or you can jump back like Janice to a low plank. Back up, we do a double chaturanga dandasana, slide to upward facing dog. Back downward facing dog. Let's pedal out the first one of the day. Side to side, back and forth. So like I said before, we're doing a half moon salutation. The right leg steps forward and the left knee drops to the ground. Interlace the fingers and rise up. Make sure the back foot's flat. Exhale, come down into a chin to the chest, forward to the knee. Inhale up and exhale into our first back bend. Not only does this act as a back bend, it's a hip flexor opening pose. We're opening at that front of that hip. And change back to downward dog. Step the left leg through, drop the right knee down, interlace the fingers and round up. Make sure the back foot's flat. Exhale, come down to the kneeling salute. Inhale up, exhale, back bend. Scoop the tailbone, open the chest. Arms are straight, reach back, and change. Come on back to downward facing dog. Then you can step or walk all the way to the front of the mat or jump through, round up heart center, and hold. Our next hip opener is an internal rotation of the hips, eagle pose. I'm going to have Janice stay facing that direction and Wendy face the camera. So you can see two angles. So bring our arms overhead, hook the right arm under the left arm, flat hands, thumbs toward the face, fingertips line up with the forehead. Consider squat down in position. That's going to soften the sides of the hips, those IT bands. And then the right leg wraps around the left leg until you can see all 5 toes eventually sticking out the other side. If you can't get the foot behind you, you can bring your foot out to the side and just slowly start working that foot around like Janice is showing you. Once the foot hooks, bring the top knee to the center. We'll line up our knees and elbows. Hold, breathe, change. Left side, arms overhead, hook the left arm under the right arm. Sit or squat, softens those IT bands. It's a really great hip opening stretch. Left leg over the right leg, wrap it around. Now you can see Janice, if you can't get that foot behind you, then just balance there, slowly working that foot around. Once you can hook it, bring the top knee to the center, so the knees come underneath the elbows. Soften the hips, scoop the tailbone, lift the chest, and feel your hips softening into this really wonderful internal rotation pose for the hips. One of the most important warm-up poses that we do. And change. And hold, arms by your side. And turn around and relax for our first Savasana. Feet to the back of the room, arms by your side, palms up. And once again, such an important moment, transitioning from the standing to the floor. My teacher would always talk about the tourniquet effect. We actually hold the circulation back from those particular target areas in the pose, and then when we release out of them, the blood and oxygen flow to those trigger points. That's the healing of yoga. Okay, starting with reclining gentle pose. Soles of the feet together all the way to the center line. Allow the knees to open out in an external rotation of your inner thighs. You can keep your hands on the floor, palms up, like Wendy, or you can place your hands on the inner thighs like Janice, just to help coax those hips to soften. Breathe into it. Let the exhaling breath, you're more flexible when you're breathless, so let the exhaling breath allow you into that deeper place. And then bring your knees together, legs down by your side, palms up, Savasana. Okay, Janupadasana 1, or foot to knee pose 1. Bring your knees up, feet flat. Your right foot's going to cross over to the left thigh. Even though it's foot to knee, it's actually below the knee. You see Janice is showing you the exact position, just below the knee at the thigh. And that's going to create a hole or a space. Now to modify, you can just stay here and just place your right hand on your right hip and slowly coax that leg to the back. If you're a little more flexible, the right hand threads through the hole you created, interlace the fingers either the top of the knee like Wendy, or you can hold underneath the hamstring like Janice. You're going to lift your left foot. You're holding your left knee, so your left foot's going to lift up to parallel the knee, and you're going to pull the left knee in as you work the right knee back. So the hip is going back, and the knee's following suit as you pull the left knee in. Find that opposite direction and feel that release. Change. Arms and legs down in Shavasana completely. Let the circulation flow back into the body. Now we'll do the left side. Knees up, feet flat. Left foot crosses over to the right thigh. Left hand shoots through the hole, either the top of the knee or the hamstring, either way. Because what you want to do is you're pulling the right knee in. You want to push that left knee back with the left elbow. That's the opposite direction that's created. And that's what's working in the glute and the piriformis, all in the hip and pelvic area. Exhale as you pull down a little more. And change. Shavasana. Palms up. Janupadasana 2. Foot to knee pose 2. Knees up, feet flat, just like before. Now what we're going to do is heel toe the right foot out to the right of your mat. Let it go out, out, out. Keep the foot on the ground and draw the knee back into the left without letting the knee cross the center of your body. So if you look at Janice, she's got her shoulder, hip, and knee all in the same line. The knee's underneath the hip. And then you got to bring your right foot back a little bit so the knee and the ankle are horizontal. Hold the hip down with your right hand and just let the left foot come over to the outside of your right thigh and the left leg drops to the ground. That's the momentum. That's why that knee's got to be underneath the hip, so that the momentum of your left leg is going to stretch that IT band. And then you can take your right arm over your head for side body stretch. Breathe into it and release. Come back to Shavasana and let the circulation flow through the body. Let's do the other side. Knees up, feet flat. Heel toe the left foot out to the left. Draw the knee back to the right. Don't let it cross the center. Hold your hip down with your left hand at first when you bring your right foot over, so you can get the foot to the outside of that thigh. The right leg drops to the ground. That's going to extend that left leg to the back of the room. You're going to feel that IT band stretch again. Left arm over your head. For a whole side body stretch combination, exhale, internal rotation of the hip, and change back, Shavasana, arms by your side, palms up. And hold. Happy baby, Nanda Balasana. Gonna bend the knees up, grab a hold of the feet, and pull the knees down. And you can see Janice is going from the outside, Wendy's holding from the inside, your choice. All you're gonna do is pull down on your feet. Think of your heels going to the ceiling and your knees coming down to each side of you. And you're gonna play with that angle, soften into the position through the exhaling breath. What a great hip opener. I wanted to include this one in the sequence as well. And very slowly change back to Shavasana. Palms up. And then turn over on your right side. Press back into child pose. Taking our Savasana here. Softening the lower back and the hips. A long exhaling breath. And then slowly sit up. You're going to sit cross-legged in what we call easy pose or Sukhasana. Bring your hands to your heart center. Eyes closed, and I thank you for joining me today, allowing us into your home. See you next time. Namaste. So that's our episode for today. Thank you for joining me. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Hit the bell. Then you get notified when I post a new video or a new flow every Tuesday at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. And I'll see you at the next video. Bye, everyone.